there guys, it's me Malorian. It's time for another Malorian Weekly, and with this we're going to keep on going on our caster review, and this time it's going to be Stryker3. So this is a model where I'm going to be completely honest with you. Originally I had planned to actually be doing this video because, well, I covered Stryker 1 and Stryker 2, so let's finish off the series. Let's throw in Stryker 3 in there as well. However, since then, I've been, while I'm stuck here in my pajamas, doing a lot more dojoing with Stryker 3, and I think there's a lot of potential there. There's a lot of people out there really still getting a thumbs down to Stryker 3, but I really think they should be looking again at him. So what we're going to be doing in this show here is we're going to be basically covering the rules, what they are. I'll quickly go over why he wasn't really liked before, and then kind of like the tricks and things that I really think will be meaning that you want to be using him now. So let's just jump into it. So, Stryker 3, who is also known as Lord General Coleman Stryker, is a Cygnar Morrowind Warcaster, Focus 6, Speed 8, because he on a horsey. He's Strength 6, Mat 7, Rat 6, he is Defense 15, Armor 16, so again, top part of the curve without adding up to 31, and Command 10. He has Assault, he's a Cav model, he's immune to electricity, and even just that right there, like that immune to electricity, that's something that can be pretty important. Like sometimes people will go into Storm Division just to be immune to lightning. Well, he's just going to have it innately, so that's pretty damn good actually. He has three weapons actually. He has his mount, which is range 0.5, and then his POW 12, so okay, sure, why not? He has his good old Quicksilver still. This is now its Mark III version. It's a range 2 P plus S14, and it is a magical one that also has just straight up disruptions. You can go in there and be like, boom, you're disrupted. Good luck trying to hit my Defense 15 now. He also has a gun, which is pretty interesting. You wouldn't think of it. I mean, look at this, and it's like he's charging there, big sword. It's almost like Stryker 2, where you kind of missed the gun thing. But he actually has the Quicksilver Blast, which is a range 8, only rate of fire 1, but it is a POW 14 electrical type magical. So not only can you use it to shoot ghosts, but it's electric type, already POW 14, so that means if you have a Firefly or something, it's going up to POW 16. Like, this is a pretty serious gun, and even though it's only range 8, I mean, remember, this is a Cav model that can go up, shoot, and then, like, repo back. So, like, this is a gun you can actually use. For hitboxes, he has 18, so pretty nice there. For the rules, he has Repo 3, which he already kind of has for being a Cav model anyway. He has Plasma Nimbus. And now what this does is that if this model is hit by a melee attack, immediately after attack is resolved, you can choose to have the attacking model suffer a POW 10 electrical damage roll unless this model was destroyed or removed from play by the attack. So basically, you can also be a little bit more aggressive with this model and just being like, yeah, go ahead, attack me with your infantry, because if I take like some plinking damage, I might just like kill you off, right? So, I mean, I'm not going to say put yourself in danger where like a jack can get on you, but if they want to be doing like, desperate attacks that might be just doing like 1 or 2 damage, you might actually want to do this because that's a good way to kill off some of that infantry at the same time. And of course, if they ever spike it, you could just use a focus to reduce it. So again, jank type things, but hey, any type of rules that there's an option, we'll take it. Alright, spells. He has some pretty interesting spells. So first one is not so interesting. It's Arcane Bolt. So this one is a cost 2, range 12, POW 11, shoots lightning, almost never going to happen. Next one is Chain Blast. It's a cost 3, range 10, AoE 3, POW 12, and then after you do that first one, a second AoE deviates from there as well. This one actually sometimes gets played. If there's a bunch of infantry, you can zap that in there and try and get it around to try and kill multiple things. Again, it would have to be pretty weak infantry, because I mean, like the blast on that is only POW 6, so if you have anything above armor 11, it's probably not doing anything. But again, because it's a double AoE blast, sometimes it's worth thinking about. Now, let's get into some of the better stuff. And the first one's going to be Escort. So this is a spell I love on Magnus too, and it's pretty good here too. And what it is it's a cost 2 range self control for the AoE upkeep. And it says Warjack in this spellcaster's battle group, beginning their activation in its control range, get +2 movement when they're advancing as part of their move, and the spellcaster gets +2 armor while one or more Warjacks in his battle group are within 3 inches of it. So remember how we said it was already above the curve because it was defense 15, armor 16? Well, it's basically going to be defense 15, armor 18. So well above the curve, and this is going to be a beefy boy that's going to be hard to kill. And of course, the main thing of this though too is that your jacks are going out farther. So if you're looking for like one of those things where you can be sending out a long way for your jacks, this is great. And I don't want to talk about the obvious one right now, but why this is going to make him better. But there's a new jack Signar can use that really loves this rule. Also loves some of these other ones too. So the next one is Fury. It's a cost 2 range 6 upkeep, and target friendly faction model unit gains +3 melee damage rolls but suffers 1 defense. That's huge. Just to be able to be like, boom, you get +3 strength basically, +3 damage, go hit things hard. And the fact that you can swap this too, like, let's compare this to something else. Let's compare this to Stryker3 and Positive Charge. People are bonkers when it comes to Positive Charge because like, oh boy, it's +2/+2. Well, really, a lot of times when you're trying to hit things, we're talking about stuff that's going to be, you know, low defense, high armor when you're wanting to hit it hard. So the fact that I'm not getting +2 to hit, who cares? Plus, we're going to be getting later to like some hit fixers. Now, when it comes to that Positive Charge, everything has to be engaging or near where that one jack is that has the spell on it. So you can't really do it to a wide area. Well, Fury, you can cast it on one unit, send them in. As you upkeep it then the next turn, you can recast it again onto a different unit. So 2 different units are just going wherever they want, getting +3 damage just on a stick. There's no shenanigan play of having to have the Kermit in the way or having to get the Ragman to the right spot. You just put it on the unit and off they go. So very, very powerful, very, very, potent. The fact that you're -1 defense, sometimes really bad, but sometimes you got to kill stuff. The best defense is killing everything out there so it can't hit you back. Now he has one more spell, which is Iron Aggression. Now this one is a cost 2 range 6 upkeep, so he actually has a good number of upkeeps. And for this one here, target friendly faction Warjack can run, charge, or make slam attacks without spending focus and gains boosted melee rolls. So clearly he can really support infantry by putting out Fury, or that can even go on a jack too, but as well, all of the jacks are going to be a lot faster, and the one that has Iron Aggression, well, it's getting a free charge in there, so basically that works out to a free attack because you're not spending a focus 2 charge, and then after that, all of its melees are boosted, and that one jack that I told you that's new and interesting really likes this one too, so we'll get there in a second. Now, before we get there though, let's talk about the feat. Now, the feat is called Lightning Charge, and what it actually does is when a friendly faction model makes an impact attack or charge attack while in Stryker's control range, the attack automatically hits and gains an additional die on the damage roll in the last one round. So yeah, that's actually pretty interesting for a couple of reasons. The round thing didn't used to really matter, but there's some times where that comes in, so we'll talk about that too. But basically, remember how I said there's a to hit fixer? That's it right there. You can just automatically hit. If it's an impact attack or a charge attack, it just happens. And that's massive. That's huge, right? Oh, your rocket men who are like defense 18, or maybe there's an Archon there too, so you're like defense 20, whatever. I hit you, you're dead, get out of here. That's massive. Some armies, their entire game plan is just on the defense queue, and this feat just says, no, I don't care about that. And if that's all it was, that'd be like, okay, sure, whatever. I guess that's a one-time trading a feat for a feat or something. But this goes above that and also says, hey, we're also going to become weapon masters too and get an additional dice of damage. Now, notice this is not boosted. So, I mean, it's a charge attack. It already was boosted, but this can overlap with lots of things. So let's imagine like a charging precursor knight that gets 3 dice damage. Well, they could use their mini feat and get 4, And then if it's on this, they're auto hitting with 5 dice of damage. Like, just insane the amount of things you can do with this. I think one of the best ways that I always like trying to think about this is, let's think of our crappiest melee models. Something like long gunners that are like Mat 4 and have like a POW 7 sword. Well, if you put Fury on them and charge them with this feat, well, who cares about the mat, because we're auto-hitting. Fury means it goes to POW 10, and then we're going to be rolling 4 dice of damage, so on average, that's going to be going up to a plus 14, so 24. So even against like an armor 19 Jack, each one's doing 5 points of damage. You charge a Jack with like 5 or 6 of these, and you're taking it out. Can you imagine charging a heavy and taking it out with long gunners on the charge? Like, that's just insane. But this is the type of thing, and of course, if you ever cast it on an actual combat unit, it actually gets really better. So in this time where you might be dealing with high defense or high armor, and you need to try and figure out how that's going to go into your list, this guy answers it all, and that's massive. Now, let's go into the next part, talking about like, well, if he's so good, Malorian, why didn't people take him before? The problem is this, right here, that large base. That's the first one, because you can't really hide the guy. He gets shot in the face, and he just likes dying. It didn't help that, I mean, before, I don't think he got the extra armor from Escort. I can't really remember right now. But the big thing is that you just couldn't hide him, and he got shot, and he died. However, we are now all of a sudden having a great theme that it has all the shield guards we'd ever need. So that's Flame in the Darkness. We can take Flame in the Darkness with all the Battle Priests, and now all of a sudden, this guy's not getting shot. Plus, what else do we have in the Flames in the Darkness? Well, we have our Legion of Lost Souls. Very powerful melee models that charge and threaten a long way. You have to remember that before, we used to use things like Storm Lances, and that was okay to make sure you got that charge and impact hit. But really, if you faced any shooting, not only would Stryker3 probably die, but your army died, and then you couldn't really do anything. So now you can have all these Legion of Lost Souls. You're just swapping around Fury wherever you need it. They already have high mat, but if you ever need to really hit, I mean, the Archon can be in there to make it so it's basically mat 8. They have combined melee, but if you really ever need it for that big time punch, you pop that feat. They really go up in their melee abilities, and it's insane the amount of damage they can actually do. Now, let's talk about some other things. First, the minor thing, just talking about, I said that feat is for the round, and so normally, like, well, who cares? It's only for charges. Remember counter charges. So before, you only had Old Rowdy, where if he did a counter charge, he would automatically hit with it and get that boosted damage, which is fantastic. But now in Flame in the Darkness, you can take Mercjacks. So for whatever reason, if you're taking, like, you know, Toros and things, those can all also have that too. So you're like, come on, let me get a counter charge where I automatically hit and get 4 dice damage. Yeah, come on, moron, come on here and proc that. Right, that's great. However, that being said, and as janky and silly as it is, the person who really likes this, the Blockader. That boy loves Stryker3. The reason being that once you have that escort up, he gets to charge and threat his 14 inches, which is amazing. And remember, that's an upkeep on Stryker3, so on him, you can actually be putting on Iron Aggression. And so what that means is that whereas normally at Mat 6, that's going to have a hard time hitting, not anymore. Now you can have this guy that's rolling 3 dice to hit with everything. You're just going to have no problem hitting things. And a lot of people don't know this, but he also has a crit effect as well. So if he actually crits, he can be throwing the model. Or maybe it's slamming. I don't know which one it is, but either way, he sends them going. And so what this really means is that you're just going to be doing work with this guy. Normally, where if there's a whole bunch of infantry in your way, you might hope to get sprays on them. Well, now you can just walk up and sweep. I mean, you can walk up your 7 inches. Remember, he's 4 inches while activating, so you're sweeping out 4, hitting all those models in there, rolling 3 dice to hit them all, and wherever there's crits, you might be sending them further out and hitting things even further away. Like, the damage output this person can do, like, you know, these two here are like the buddy cop movie. They love each other. They do great things together. So very, very interesting stuff you do. I mean, I know, like, right now, people are looking at Stryker 1 because, hey, lots of armor is awesome, and looking at Stryker 2 because, hey, an extra attack is awesome and his personal threat. But I think what we're going to start seeing is just something where we just need something that can really affect a lot of things. You know, Striker 1, we can slow things down and wait to turn. Striker 2, the positive charge and stuff, like if they go and start sniping out our important solos and spreading out, we can't really apply our force all the way with those big buffs. But with Stryker 3, you can. You can be like, hey, you got heavies all along there, whatever. Unit 1, an upkeep, I'll pop my feet, they can go, and then I can recast over here. Like, it's just, you can do so much damage with him all over the place. It's fantastic. And again, I also wonder where you could go with a shooting list with this, where he's also buddy there as well, just being like, pew, I'm going to shoot and do my damage. And at the same time, whereas normally, like, a Firefly doesn't do anything, Fireflies that have Fury on them really do a lot of work, especially when they're auto-hitting and they're weapon masters. So, that's something that's interesting as well. I haven't really delved into that one too much, but either way, Stryker 3 with a Blockader and a bunch of Legion of Lost Souls with, the shield guards, that gets a Malorian thumbs up. So there you have it. There's Stryker 3. We're going to be kind of leaving our caster review now to try and do some other videos for a little while before we come back to it. But yeah, there you go. Let me know what your thoughts are on Stryker 3 below. And otherwise, I'll catch you later. Bye.